Most conversations that are worth having are the toughest conversations to have. I think a lot of the stigma that surrounds mental health is generational. Mental health is bad, it's taboo. I think my work and Runaway's work is to normalize mental health. I'm Satvik Sethi, I'm 23 years old, and I'm the founder and CEO at Runaway. Runaway is a social venture that aims to promote mental health awareness and helps those in need of emotional support, primarily working with college students and high school students and just young people around the world who are in search of mental health resources. And usually, because there's so many barriers to accessing it, we're just helping them overcome those barriers. We always tell people that just like physical health, everyone has mental health. And just like your physical health goes bad from time to time and you need to see a doctor or take medicine, similarly, it's okay for your mental health to go bad. And instead of making it a taboo subject or not talking about it, you just find help and do something that makes you feel better. We're basically just trying to do whatever we can to ensure that young people around the world felt like they have some visibility on their mental health, and we can just really start those conversations around normalizing these topics. My experiences with mental health go all the way back to middle school. I dealt with issues like bullying, social exclusion, social isolation, but obviously at that young age, you don't know these are mental health problems. To us, it was just challenges and obstacles that we were facing. Even before Runaway was a thing, I used to go online on Instagram and find people who were using the platform to reach out, so complete strangers from around the world. And because my own mental health wasn't the best at this point, I had to decide whether to keep talking to strangers online, which was becoming increasingly emotionally taxing as well as time consuming, or to then create something where other people can come get involved and help me do this. And after talking to over 450 strangers from around the world, that's really where the idea to create Runaway was born. I started this 4 years ago as a freshman in college, when it was a time when, being an international student myself, I felt that my mental health wasn't the best and I wasn't in a good space, but at the same time I just wanted to help other people. I just started this as something that I was just doing myself. I started hosting events on college campuses and working with organizations like Mental Health America to conduct some research. And then eventually it's grown to something much larger. We now have a team of over 100 student volunteers from around the world. It's really now become a flourishing community. Just really incredible to see that journey. In terms of like the back end itself, have we cleaned it up yet? Do we still need to figure out some UI work for it?
For the backend, everything looks like it's good.
The goal with Runaway was to always create this app or this platform where people could come online and talk to volunteers like myself one-on-one anonymously about their mental health problems, like I was talking to people on Instagram. When someone logs into the app, they could go straight to our chat feature. So the first thing is you select how you're feeling, and then once you hit next, we ask you what brings you to this chat. So you can select whatever it might be. And then we ask you, have you had suicidal thoughts in the past 6 months, as a way for us to understand if you might be in a situation of crisis, which isn't necessarily something that we're equipped to deal with, so then we can instead guide you to better resources. But if you say no, we can proceed with the chat, and then the chat would show up where you would ideally converse with our volunteers. And so that's like the core component of the app that's going to be coming out soon. We have educational resources within the app. Lots of really interesting opportunities to just learn and understand more about mental health in general. So that's the app, and we're super excited to hopefully get it to users very soon. I want Runaway to continuously be a great resource where people can just find the help that they need, whether it's using our app or just finding educational content or finding free resources through our partners, anything that makes them feel better. I'm always going to be working to advocate for mental health, and so even if my work with Runaway becomes limited as we progress and as my team kind of takes over and manages everything, I'm still going to be advocating for just a happier world, and a world where young people feel like there's nothing that they can't access when it comes to resources for their well-being.